For commercial lease, how much is the usual escalation rate per year? For residential lease, how much is the usual escalation rate per year? When does it start? After a year?
Yung escalation rate is determined the very day you sign the lease contract. In the absence of such, then you refer to the rental law. But the rental law only caters to 10,000 pesos a month below. Above, it is always the prerogative of the lessor or a mutual agreement between the lessee and the lessor. Pero there is always a commitment there that if you are a good lessee and you pay on time, you will never increase the lease because, you know, as a lessor, you will want the very best. You will want to keep the lessee who is good and who is paying and be conscious about their obligations. Hindi namin tinataasan yan kasi ayaw namin siyang umalis.
Is there a presumed right of first refusal to buy the property involved for all lease contracts? Or should it be specified before it's invoked?
Yes. When the owner decides to sell the property, the lessee has the first right of first refusal. Nagkaroon kami ng kaso ng ganyan dito sa may scout area. The owner unilaterally sold the property, disregarding any offer from the lessee to buy the property. Nagkaroon ng kaso yan. Talo yung may-ari. They have to pay damages to the lessee for violating his rights on the right of first refusal. Yan, importante yung right of first refusal na yan. You cannot just sell, although it's in the contract that you can sell the property, but you still need to offer the property to your lessee before offering it to somebody else. Kung wala na, hindi niya babayaran niya, saka mayroon siyang express intention na he is not paying, he is not buying the property, then you can go ahead to the next party who is interested to buy. Although sometimes there are cases when the property is sold, yung lease contract ino-honor din ng bagong owner. Kaya these are the things na dapat na
there's a problem there, Sir Pat.
Yeah.
Problem there. The problem there is, what if you undervalue? This is off the record. What if you undervalue the transaction, and the lessee offered to buy at the lower rate than the actual selling price? So,
well, yan ang problema diyan. Kasi alam mo yan, these are some of the cases na dapat kung hindi kayo magkasundo, pupunta muna kayo sa barangay level, and then from barangay level, hindi pa rin kayo magkasundo, it will be the court who will decide whether it's acceptable yan, property na yan, o yung right of first refusal. But usually yan, the owner will settle for damages. I have seen a lot of at least three transactions na violate yung right of first refusal, and the owner just paid the lessee a certain amount tinanggap. Kasi hindi rin naman talaga niya mabibili at the price na gusto nung seller. Saka kung minsan dyan pumapasok din yung appraiser, formal appraiser. So this is the value that you are supposed to pay. So when you cannot pay that property, then give it the privilege to sell it to others. Ang nagiging compromise dyan is kung lesser ka dyan, o sige, upahan mo rin. So yung bagong bumili, pauupahan din niya the same party.
So caveat na lang to all brokers who are selling properties with tenants that have right of first refusal, not to undervalue your transactions. Otherwise, you'll be liable. Your transaction might be questioned later on.
That's correct. That's correct.
I have a second question. No? What is the legal liability of lessors if the lessees are involved in illegal activities? Even if there's a provision in the lease contract that the lessor should not be held liable, no? Is there still a legal liability of the lessors?
Yes, yes. There is still a liability of the lessor. As a matter of fact, kaya nga yung case in point ko ng Valle Verde 4 na lessor namin kinasuhan yung mga inchik. Pati siya damay sa kaso. Pero we were able to settle it for him. Pero he was part parang sinasabi ng authorities na you allowed because you did not drive them out when they were committing something illegal. Yes, you had the lease contract, but you did not enforce the lease contract. That's why you're also liable. Unang-una, sinabi niya na ang occupants lang yon, ganun. Eh pagkatapos, occupants pala, marami na pagkatapos. Why did you not call the attention of your lessee? So parang you immediately, by sin of omission, became party to the crime.
Even
Yes.
if it's specified in the contract that the lessor should be absolved, hindi valid reason.
Well, wala. Kahit na lagay mo yan, ganun pa rin eh. Kaya alam mo yung mga problema diyan sa nagsasabu laboratory diyan. By God, I can see the problems now.
What you just recently said, like if the broker naman went through all the due diligence, no, but the lessee, no, talagang may tinago because talagang in bad faith, no, gagamitin pala sa masama, pero syempre kinonceal niya yon. Up to what extent ba liable yung broker diyan?
Well, from the legal standpoint, walang liability ang broker diyan. Pero from the moral standpoint, parang kung meron ka talagang negligence. Now, the worst thing that could happen is that if there is a legal case and you are asked to testify, then you have to be on the side of the lessor. Diba?
Yeah.
So, yun ang yan. Legally speaking, hindi ka naman ma-indict ng lessor dyan for giving him the wrong lessee kasi hindi mo rin talaga alam yan eh. So sometimes, pero kuminsan din, talagang risk din ng lessor to accept a lessee or not, whether it's brokered or not, whichever. Kuminsan, maganda yung binigay sa'yo ng broker, kuminsan, pangit, pero alam mo, siyempre talagang ganyan. Ikaw pa rin ang nagdesisyon kung tatanggapin mo yun o hindi. Pero we have some straightforward priorities. Meron kami diyang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The best tenant is somebody who is fixed income. Number 2 is they are transparent and they will allow us to check on their previous lessor. Yan. Basta yan, pwede yan. Acceptable kagad yan. So, kung naging transparent siya, because right then and there, you'll find out what is the paying habits of that lessee. And then, of course, yung fixed income. You know why fixed income? Pagka fixed income yan, madali mo siyang kasuhan pag hindi na nagbayad. Yung may business, problema yan. Bigla na lang tatakbo yan kung may utang. Saka yung business niya, ang pambayad niya sa iyo, depende sa business niya. Kung tumawag yung business niya, lalo nitong pandemic na ito, talagang patay ka rin. Wala kang magagawa. You just simply end up with bouncing checks. Of course, kakasuhan mo yan, but it takes time before you're able to collect.
Yeah.